live from beautiful Ottawa, Ontario. How's it going, man?
Doing well.
Going well. Tomorrow.
Wait till the last sporting event on planet Earth to start.
Yes, literally. I don't know if you can find another sporting event on the planet Earth, man. Right now, if you watch Sports Center, there is nothing you can literally watch, Tervel. It is like the Earth is shut down as far as it goes with sporting events. So, how is preparation? Is tomorrow your competition day?
Yes.
Okay. So, what all weights tomorrow for men's freestyle?
Yep. All six.
Okay. So, women's was today. Greco was yesterday.
Yep.
Are you in the gym watching?
We couldn't. So only the competitors and the coaching staff is allowed. So they wouldn't even let the next day's competition warm up. So you're only allowed in the gym if you're competing.
So tomorrow it will be you. Who all are you coaching tomorrow? Desi? Who all are you all coaching?
I'm here just with Desi.
Just Desi.
Yeah, but obviously I'm cheering on Team USA, but I'm not on the staff. I'm just here with Des.
Ohio RTC. Amir Desi. Mm-hmm. Amar Desi.
Yes, sir.
I like him. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's cool, dude.
Top 2 tomorrow qualifies for the Olympics, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then so last week was the Pan Am was actually Pan Am's. This week's the Pan Am qualifier. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, dude, you got double duty right now. So you would have been flying back. So let's talk about like the big news here. You would have been flying back to Columbus probably tomorrow night, and then joining the team or Monday. When would you have been flying back to Columbus to join the team?
I would have flown back Monday morning, and then I would have left Tuesday afternoon for NCAAs.
Okay. So were you in Canada when you got the news on Thursday? Where were you?
No, I was in Columbus. So I came back. I went straight from Big Tens to the first Pan Ams. Then Desi wrestled. It was on a Monday. So I got back Tuesday, did some team prep Wednesday, and then I believe it was Thursday at practice was when our AD kind of finalized or gave us a heads up on the cancellation. And so we kind of brought everyone in and told everyone. But they let me leave the country. So yesterday, I don't know if I'm able to get back in, but they let me come out yesterday. So,
dude, what do you do? What do you do? You go stay with Desi in BC? What do you do? Because he's from British Columbia, right?
I don't know. I mean, maybe just try to hitchhike across the border. I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna work. You are not inconspicuous. I want you to know that.
Well, I mean, it's just groups of people, right? So it's just one guy hitchhiking. That should be no problem, right?
I love that we are able to find light in this situation and at least have a little bit of fun with it because it's pretty terrible, man. Like, and listen, I understand that there's worse things that happen to people like death and a death in a family. Like, I was talking to Colin Moore today. He has amazing perspective on this whole thing. I'm really impressed talking to him. You obviously get that. You've coached him for, and been either RTC athlete or whatever. In some capacity, you've seen him come in from high school to obviously through his senior year, coached him. That guy gets it. But I think that they're also shocked that they don't even know what to say. Because I talked to him and another kid, Ohio University guy, Zach Carson, today. And they're both seniors, man. They're both seniors, and this is probably going to be it for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's weird because, like you said, I mean, I think the biggest thing that is helping people is the misery loves company. The fact that it's happening to everyone is helping people hold it together, right? Because it's not just one university or one region that's wronged. It's a worldwide thing. It's a countrywide thing. So I think that as crappy as that is, that's people are finding a little bit of stability and, complaining about it with each other, kind of just sitting, hunkering down together and talking about how it sucks. So, but yeah, man, I mean, I'm really proud of Colin, really proud of Luke, our team. They've been great leaders. They've had great perspective. Obviously, it was emotional when we told them, but, they've reeled it in. We had a team meeting on Friday, kind of with logistics and moving forward with dates and whatnot. When can you come back to school? When can you? What's the situation like from that front? And everyone seemed, pretty high spirited, given the circumstances. So I was proud of our team.
So the Ohio State University does not sound like they're going to come back with class. They're not coming back with classes, in-person classes through May or whatever it is, right? They're canceled, and well, if you can't do it in person, like all the lab stuff, it's just canceled. They're not doing lab classes, and everything else has been moved online, is my understanding.
Correct. Yep. So May 6th, I think, is as of right now. So we're kind of in holding pattern till April 6th with everything, and then that's when we're going to discuss Olympic hopeful scenarios and possibly be able to get some waivers for some guys training for the trials to get back in the room, but otherwise no practice, no mass congregation till May 6th.
Okay, so David Taylor has his own facility. He has the M2 facility. Like, it's just outside of State College. I don't actually know the town, but it's in Central PA, right, by State College, right? So David Taylor has zero to worry about, right? Like, those coaches can come and train with David Taylor, whether it's Casey Cunningham, Sanderson brothers, whoever, right? He doesn't have an issue. Everybody else kind of has an issue. Colin brought up Coach Jordan. Coach Jordan's facility is not too far from you guys, and he's got a couple different options, right? So that would be, and then Coach Thatcher, that was another one that he talked about, and Moran has a facility as well. But he said he can't be on the campus or in the room for the dead period, right? April 15th. Is that actually correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a little bit of a, and then obviously the trials are delayed, so it's gonna be a little bit of ragtag training, kind of see who can own their training, who cannot freak out for a couple weeks. So it'll be interesting. But I don't think it should. These guys are disciplined. Most of these senior level guys, especially the guys toward the top, they're disciplined. They already own their own training. They already have their own practice structures in their heads. They come into practice with a plan. They get a lot out of their minutes. So it doesn't matter if you're standing over them, or if they're by themselves. They're going to find a mat. As long as they're with each other and they have partners, they'll rise up, and like here, Miles and Colin, I think will kind of latch onto each other and move forward. So I think it'll be all right. It'll be a little weird, but I don't think it'll be a huge step backwards.
And the other thing is, you're pretty plugged into Team USA. You're obviously very plugged into our Olympic movement, World Championships, Pan Ams. You're obviously at right now. What are you hearing on that front as far as Tokyo 2020? Have you heard any talk about Tokyo 2020? Because obviously that's the big fear is, this originated in Asia. Obviously Japan, an island in Asia, right? So it's like big fear that they may cancel the Olympics. What have you heard on that front, Tervel?
I've heard that they're going to happen. I've heard that the only real contingency plan is to possibly delay them till 2022. They couldn't really do a short delay. I think it's either a big delay so everyone can figure out scheduling and totally redo it, or don't delay at all. So those are the two options, and I think they seem, as of right now, all the communication out of there that I've heard has been, yeah, it's a go. But I mean, I guess at this point it's like things went off the wall in 24 hours. You know, I mean, they went from no fans, and they didn't even let that marinate for 20 hours before they said, okay, everything's canceled. So they things can turn fast right now. So obviously, you know, what we're hearing now is by no means the 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 gold standard of information. I mean, things are so volatile. But yeah, that's what I'm hearing right now is they're far enough away that they're hoping that you know, the stuff will be contained to at least to a point where they can move forward.
Fluid and developing would be the words that I hear a lot, and I don't like when I hear fluid and developing.
Yeah,
it's scary. It scares me because it means, like you just said, fluid and developing means anything can happen, right? Like it's like you said, off the rails. We don't even know what's going to happen. It's just it's insanity, man. Like it you can't even. I can't even wrap my brain around it. Like you said, how quick this happened. Not even in 24 hours, 20 hours, right? Ohio State tournament. All the schools in Ohio. You got kids in school, right?
yeah.
Are they canceled for 3 weeks?
Yeah, they're canceled. So, yeah, man, it was just crazy because I thought that the step they took with no fans was extremely drastic, you know, and they didn't even give that a chance before. Okay, never mind, nobody. So, and obviously, I don't know a ton about the situation, but I think that the big piece of the puzzle that worries me is you know, everyone's talking about the health and safety of the athletes, the health and safety of the athletes. And for professional athletes, it's not. I think it's more of a job. Obviously, they'd love to compete, but it's year in, year out. You know, you compete, you go home, you compete, you get paid, whatever. But for the amateur athlete, the thing that worries me is the mental health and well-being of the athlete. I think that, I mean, I would say 300, you know, maybe 300 out of those 330 qualifiers would snap call risking getting this virus and still over not competing. You know, I mean, I just think that it's one of these things where this means a lot to these guys. And this idea of like, no, sorry, is, I mean, there's people from the 1980 Olympic team who are still bitter at our government, you know, that boycotted.
Yeah.
So I just think that the type of human you're dealing with, especially in our sport, that it just kind of wraps and weaves into your life, can really cause some mental issues, some depression, some of that stuff. So I just think that at the speed at which they threw it away was alarming.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I don't even know what to say. Like if you talk to Lee Kemp and Greg Wojciechowski, you know, and any of those guys, who was the Illinois coach, Mark Johnson, you know, I think he was one of them, right? Russ, you talk to Russ, yeah, you talk to these guys, and it's obviously very damaging to those guys. And those are just four guys, you know, at the top of my head, right? That were in the. Yeah. But the thing about Russ is he had 76 where he won a silver medal, right? I mean, so Russ at least had that, whereas Lee Kemp never got that. He won world titles, but he never got his Olympic title.
Yeah.
And that's the craziest thing about it. The 6th year, what have you heard from that? And what are you hearing about the 6th year? And what are your other coaches saying about this?
I mean, just what everyone else is hearing. So I think that they're looking into it. I think that everyone sees that it seems to be something that, you know, up front it sounds fair, sounds reasonable. They already did it. I think they already did it for the spring sports. Now they're going to look at the winter sports. So obviously it's going to be a trickle-down effect. It's going to be a nightmare with scholarships and depending on how they do it. Now, if they just go straight, you know, no holds barred, which I don't think they will, but if it's like, oh, it doesn't matter. You can be out of school with no scholarship and compete, you don't have to tell, if you were one of these guys affected, you totally don't have to adhere to the rules of NCAA, but obviously they're not going to do that. So it'll be, guys coming in where they fit with the scholarship money. A lot of commitments, you plug people in with this idea, and a lot of your recruit is, hey, you step in and you go, or a lot of your red shirts this year, committed to you because your seniors were leaving, So it's just a strange dynamic. There's going to be some conversations, but I don't think anyone's going to be mad at anyone else. It's just, and the reality of some of these seniors, they're already planning their lives, So as much as they wanted this national title, it's like, what do you take random classes and put your life on hold for another year, or do you go out and start making money? So
yeah,
there's a lot.
There's so much to unpack when you and I talk about it, and when I talk to Colin about it, there's just so much to unpack. And so obviously you've got a full slate in the sense that you're going to probably keep training Desi through this. He's got an extenuating circumstance. You guys are going to figure something out, whether you go to Canada or whatever you're going to do, right? Obviously a lot of that, and he can, so let's just say worst case scenario tomorrow, he doesn't get in the top 2, right? He was already in the top 2 where he forfeited to Nelson, right? So let's just say he can run that result back again. Let's say that doesn't happen. How many more chances does he have to chase it?
Just one. So if he doesn't qualify here, there's a last chance. So obviously, the only way to qualify is top 2 at your Continental Championship. So this is his, and then top 2 at the last chance qualifier, which already has been delayed. And so they're thinking that will be in June. They've kicked the last chances back to June.
When were they? May? Were they May or April?
They were supposed to be the week after our trials.
Okay, so April. They were going to be in April, right?
Yeah, they were going to be in April.
We're in Uzbekistan, or where'd you have to go there? It's where'd you have to go to?
Last chance was Bulgaria.
Oh.
But hopefully he qualified. It would work well, obviously. Not just. Obviously this is more important than logistics, but logistically, if he qualified tomorrow, it would work really well because the Olympics aren't till August, so he would actually be able to kind of chill and take his downtime until this. Well, and who knows if it's going to blow over, but at least for right now, the scheduled May 6th. Because I figure if he qualifies tomorrow, he can go home, rest until May 6th, and then just pick up where we left off, and he has the rest of the month of May, the whole month of June, the whole month of July. We're talking 10 weeks. That's plenty of time to peak for Olympic Games. So this schedule, barring he competes well and qualifies tomorrow, kind of takes the stress of not having somewhere to train for him off the table. He can pretty much just kind of lift weights and run for the next month, and he'll have plenty of time.
What's the draw look like? Have you got your draw yet?
Yeah, so his bracket's kind of nice because they're going to come down to the top 2 no matter what, because it's a pool play.
Yeah.
So it's the exact same as last week. So
that's right. I saw the results. They were pool results. That's right.
Yeah. So how it works is he'll have Mexico and Venezuela on his side, and then Gwiazdowski is on the other side with Cuba and Puerto Rico. And so they'll wrestle their pool, everyone in their pool, and then the semifinal is a cross bracket. So the number 1 from Pool A will wrestle the number 2 from Pool B, and then vice versa. And then the winners of those will wrestle in the finals. So basically, he'll have to. So I'd imagine Gwiazdowski is going to beat up that Cuban. That Cuban is a Greco guy. Gwiazdowski, has Tech the better one. They didn't let the other one wrestle because he already qualified for Greco. It was a big ordeal. So it's actually the guy that Kuhn wrestled last week.
Got it.
And so Gwiazdowski should beat him pretty easily, and then we'll have him in the semi. So and then Gwiazdowski will have probably Mexico, and then they'll have each other. So the plan is Mexico, Venezuela, and if Gwiz does the job and doesn't make any mistakes, hopefully Cuba in the semi. So that's kind of the play. So the nice thing is the draw, it was going to happen either way. They were going to whittle it down to the best two, which took a lot of stress off, because it wasn't one of those where you just have to avoid, like hopefully they don't get on the same side kind of thing.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking when I was thinking about it. I was like, well, yeah, if they're on the same side, then that's what I didn't like about it when I thought about it at first. I was like, well, that's going to screw everything up. You know what I mean? Because if you get in the same half, it's like you already have your final in the semi. But it doesn't do you any good because you're not qualified.
Exactly.
Okay, so will it be the same thing as the last week's final? Will you guys just not wrestle in the final?
I don't know. I mean, I saw all the women pull out. None of our women wrestled today, so I'd imagine either us or them. I think as of right now in my head we're wrestling.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is already like we're walking on eggshells a little bit. There's local doctors like trying to, talking to staff, trying to shut the tournament down. I mean, one of the Canadian coaches was telling me that like some local doctor was saying like how crazy it was that we were still having this. So there's people trying to. So we're trying to survive one more day. So we're just trying to get this qualification, and then we're probably gonna get the heck out of here.
Yes. Okay. You said we had 20 minutes. We're past our 20 minutes. Do you have anything else? I could talk to you all night, but I know you got stuff going on. 20 minutes. We're past it. Does Tervel got anything else to tell people? I would like to see you guys in the final tomorrow. It would make me feel a lot better about stuff. I'd like to see Desi obviously qualified. That'd make me feel a lot better about stuff. He's an Oregon State Beaver.
I think everyone. I mean, right now, I think the biggest one is the biggest matchup tomorrow is going to be Gilman and Cuba. So they drew same side. So I think that's the big one, because I think that kid beat Gilman 2 years ago, but Dayton Fix beat him last year, that Cuban, in a close match. So and I think Gilman should handle him. Gilman is really good. So, but that's the big one, because Zane and Cuba opposite sides. David Taylor usually kills everybody.
Dude, David Taylor. I don't. If you have like a weapon, you can beat him, but I don't know how else to beat him.
I know, he's a freak.
He's a freak.
Gotta be. I mean, he should be. Obviously, there's a little bit of a question mark because he's coming off of injury, but I don't think he should. I think he'll knock off the rust relatively quick.
Yeah, I don't think that there's going to be a full match.
And then Gwiz, same thing. Gwiz he just has to beat this Greco-Cuban, and then so does Amr. So I think. For me in my head, I'm thinking, if everyone wrestles well, obviously there's crazy stuff that can happen, but it should be a pretty good day tomorrow. Barring, I think the biggest thing we're trying to avoid is them saying, all right, we're going to cut this last day, and all of you guys are stuck in this country. You can't go back to your house.
Please don't say these things. You're stressing me out, and I shouldn't even be stressed out. It should be you. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, hey.
So I go off the idea that if you say it, there's less chance of it happening if you say it. Right? So most people say, like, don't say that, don't say it. But I like this. There's this quote that I think about when there's, like, scenarios of possible bad things happening is the worst things in your life are the things that never crossed your worried mind. So that's what so usually the things that are the most inconvenient and the worst things that happen in your life are things that you didn't think about. They kind of surprised you. So I try to think of all the bad case scenarios and say them. So I check my boxes.
Oh, the ultimate optimist. I would like to call you the constant optimist. Hey, do you have your medal? You got your medal yet? I was just talking about you to my kids. Did you get the medal yet?
No medal. I saw Rich Bender today. He told me no medal yet. But I think that they're dealing with a couple of things more important than my medal right now.
Yeah, I understand that.
I think that whole deal is shelved for a little bit until they figure out I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, obviously. So I'm trying not to push the envelope, but yeah, I'm just staying in contact with those guys and seeing what the plan is.
All right, what do you got tonight? Anything? You got to talk to Desi at all, or?
Yeah, I'll probably go see what's up, and then try to hit a little late night workout. Hit a late night workout. So I'm still trying to rehab my knee. I'm coming back from ACL, so I'm at 4 months into a 6-month rehab. So trying to stay on top of, getting my legs strong again.
What do you do for a workout? What's your workout tonight?
I don't know. I'm probably gonna do something CrossFit-y. Probably like a rower to some pull-ups or a rower to something. I'm kind of getting addicted to the pain of working out. So just something that hurts.
Okay. All right, man. Hey, thank you for the time. It's been good talking to you. I love that you did the whole interview laying down. Oh, you're the best. All right, hey, thank you. Good luck tomorrow, and get it done, man, and enjoy the pain tonight, all right?
Yeah, we'll do.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, bro.
Later. Oh, the man.